this year, next year?
Which one?
For the belt that you just said it was.
No, we should be fighting this year in the
This
summer.
year?
Yeah, that's the whole reason why I signed with boxing. We almost had a deal done with Eddie Hearn for a 2-fight deal with me and Savannah Marshall. 1 fight in the UK, 1 fight in the US, and possibly a trilogy if the fight was worth a trilogy. But when the deal was almost done, Eddie Hearn sent my manager an email saying he no longer worked with Savannah Marshall, and he still wanted to do business. And we just was like, well, the business right now that we want to take care of is Savannah Marshall. So, talk to you later.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem going to the UK to fight her? Because you just mentioned, like, you think it's your belt, but you're going to her home turf to fight for it. Was that ever like an issue when this all came up?
Nah, I won the Olympics twice. I've fought out the country many times. I've fought in 10 different countries and never lost. So I'm not really worried about that. If you know how to fight, you know how to fight no matter where you're at. USA, UK, China, wherever, you know how to fight. And I just don't think that Marshall has the skills to do anything with me. That's why all the barking she been doing, I'm just letting her do it, because once it's time to really fight, she gonna wish she never said that stuff.
You mentioned the barking. Just earlier today, she called you pillow hands. Is that something you take offense to? Because the only thing someone can say about your entire record is the knockouts, right?
Yeah.
Is that something that you're conscious about, or that you kind of want to prove when you go in there?
I mean, when you fight against top tier fighters, you don't knock out top tier fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like when you fight against Hannah Gabriels, who's 18-0, you know, with 10 knockouts, yeah, and then it's early in your career, you don't knock her out. When you fight against Franchon Cruz, who you fought against 4 times in the amateurs, you know, and then y'all fight a 4-round war, you don't knock those people out, right? But I knocked out a woman that was 17-0 as a Nikki Adler, and I knocked out I can't remember the girl's name right now, but it's another girl. But at the end of the day, I've heard everybody who I've boxed with, and if they didn't, you know, quit and fold, the ref just let them take a beating. Like, go and look up the fight with Cindy LeBlanc, pillow hands. I beat the shit out of her. The ref stood there 8 rounds and looked like he was watching the fight instead of protecting the fighter. She ain't been the same since. So Marshall can say that I don't got no punching power or whatever, but I'm not fighting last minute replacements either. You know, she fight people with 3-day replacements. Somebody get a week's notice. Ain't nobody getting no 6-week training camp to fight against Marshall, because she'd probably lose.
How much do you want to fight 3-minute rounds there? Because you mentioned, like, the refs would have stopped a couple of those fights, stuff would have been different. Do you see that changing in the next year, 2 years? How much do you want to push for that change in 3-minute rounds in women's boxing?
I really have no idea, to be honest, if that rule is going to change. I just fight the rules that they put down in front of me, and I just do what I have to do. But if we don't get 3 minutes, at least give us the championship rounds, 12 rounds for 2 minutes. I think that's fair. You know, at least give us the championship rounds, because, you know, rounds 11 and 12 is very important in every fight, especially world title fights, and we don't even get that. So at least for the world title fights, give us 12 rounds, and we'll keep the 2 minutes. I'm okay with that.
Was it refreshing at all going to MMA and competing at the same rule set as everyone else? Because you have to go 3 5-minute rounds, and there's no change there. It's like women, men, everyone fights, same skill set, same rule set. Mm-hmm. Was that like one of the, I don't want to say benefits, but is that one of like the pleasant surprises when you went to MMA?
Well, I already knew that going over there, that it's fair, right? And that they treat the women how they treat the men. And, you know, with the PFL, you get the same opportunities that the men get, you know. I feel like I was actually privileged going to the PFL, because I was fighting on TV, you know, main event, and I didn't even have any amateur experience in MMA. I just kind of like turned pro, like, hey, I'm here. But I was able to get a lot of respect and a whole lot of fans, and everybody was just really excited to see me compete in MMA. So it was cool. It was cool.
Is there anything different this training camp compared to your last training camps? And have you brought anybody in as your trainers, or just energy around to keep you focused? Is there anything new this training camp?
Everything's new this training camp. I mean, if I had to put like one word for this training camp, I would say uncomfortable, discomfort, because I just been like training, and people don't know, but I don't really like to get in the ring and spar no more. I sparred too much when I was younger, but this camp I've sparred the most time that I sparred for any camp. A lot. It's like 3 times a week. So I've been getting my sparring in. I feel sharp. I feel like when I was in the amateurs, when I was able to move and throw feints and do all the stuff that I used to do, and I kind of got away from that because of I wouldn't say the training. I would say that I don't know. Just I think that me adding my new eyes to training camp, me and Coach John always been working on slowing down my punches and everything like that and pinpointing my shots. But then we added Coach GT, Gerald Tucker. Then I also added me a chef to the camp. And with the chef, I get to eat healthy year round. And then with Coach GT, he got a whole different training style than Coach John. And it just makes my eyes be wider and you know, pay more attention to certain things like the, you know, pullbacks, the slips, the rolls, the offense, and the defense. Keeping your hands up. Like it's little stuff, but it's stuff that you as a pro you can get away from. So this has been a totally different training camp. But that's why I know that Ema Kozin about to get her ass whooped. That's how I know. Because I got some stuff.
Speaking of your MMA, do you have somebody that you would want to bring in and maybe show you things that you can improve on? Do you have a vision for a future coach or somebody that you want to bring into your team?
I want Henry Cejudo to show me how to wrestle.
Nice.
That's what I want.
Nice.
Like I feel like I'm missing, like that's the biggest part I'm missing right now. Like I feel like, of course, boxing, we on point. I can throw good kicks. I know how to check kicks and recognize when they're coming. It's just with the wrestling, like the level change. You go from up here from fighting, and then they go for your legs, and you got to be able to recognize that and go for the sprawl or stop the takedown. So I really want to work with Henry Cejudo because I mean, this dude was a 2-time Olympic gold medalist in wrestling.
He just did his thing with the UFC, the last fight against Moreno. The guy that went against Moreno, he was training him.
Okay.
So he got him ready.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to add my wrestling to that. And I think Henry Cejudo was the perfect guy. I think if I reached out, it'd be something easy to make happen. I just have to get on that, but I'll focus on that after the boxing matches.
You mentioned you added a chef to this camp, right? When people hear that, you know, better nutrition, better weight cuts, ears perk up because you've been to 154. Do you think there's any possibility 147 is there? Because we're going to see Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. That's a huge fight. If for any reason Katie Taylor wins that fight, there's only one other person that she'd have to prove herself.
147 don't want to smoke with me. But yes, this body can make 147. Yeah, I you know, I had to, my legs would be a little bit smaller, but I can definitely make 147. I would just have to, because my nutrition already told me I can. It's just something I didn't ever want to do. Well, I did want to fight against Cecilia Bráchez. You know, she had a big record. She was undefeated. And then she ended up really taking an easy fight with Jessica McCaskill. She thought it was an easy fight and ended up getting beat 2 times. Not once, but twice. So now Jessica McCaskill is the undisputed champ at 147. She do a little talking, her and Rick Ramos, but I'm telling you, they do not want to smoke with me. Because if I go to 147, I'm going to smoke everybody down there. And this body can make 147. So I be telling them, speak lightly about me because you mess around and see me get on the scale and they say 146.4, you're going to be shocked.